FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 win for all!
Welcome inside Okinawa Arena. We are in Japan, the nightcap. Georgia taking on Slovenia. Both teams are unbeaten with a chance here tonight to seal their pathway onto the second round of the World Cup. Luka Doncic, the big star for Slovenia, as they get set to face a feisty Georgia squad making their first appearance in the World Cup. I'm Desvina Barton alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze. Andrew, what stands out to you about these two that are about to match up?
Well, they've both got a lot of talent. Georgia have come with great size. They don't have a lot of experience in the World Cup, but of course playing in Europe, you get a lot of competitive national team play. But Slovenia, a lot we can be said about them. They're the bronze medalists at the Tokyo Olympics, and anytime you've got a team with Luka Doncic in it, how impressive was he in that first up game where he had 37 points, and there was a lot of oohing and ahhing going on with the fans, such as the way that he plays, but also he was well supported by Mike Toby, the naturalized Slovenian, who had 21 points. But for Georgia, they go deep and they go big. One of their stars has spent some time in the NBA, and that's Toko Shengelia. He had a good one the other night as well. So match up with some stars, and I think pace of play with both these teams. Slovenia like to get out and push it. Georgia, they do too, but do really well in the half court as they go down low. There's another NBA player in Sandro Mamukelashvili. He's currently with the San Antonio Spurs. In fact, they've got two players that currently suit up in the NBA. Goga Bitadze.
He's from my hometown in Orlando, Florida. But Georgia, yes, they already made history here in Okinawa, defeating Cape Verde 85-60 on game day #1, earning their first ever FIBA World Cup victory. But they're a team that have come here for so much more, and they believe that they belong and that they can compete with Luka Doncic and the best in the world.
Well, Slovenia, you throw 11 guys around Luka and you've got to be a competitor, such as the greatness of Luka Doncic, one of the greatest players in the world as we speak. But if you're looking for weaknesses in the Slovenian team, it's perhaps their depth, not quite as deep as some of the other teams, and they'll go into this one as the favourites. It's a tough part of the draw. We saw yesterday Germany and Australia play, and if you go through to the next round, it's probably Germany and Australia that these two teams that are expected to come through will meet.
A look at the game that just ended before us. Cape Verde coming from behind and upsetting Venezuela. Cape Verde, by the way, Andrew, becoming the highest ranked team to ever get a victory
They led it by 13 at the halftime. It was a great performance.
Before we get started here, we'll start with the national anthems first with the visiting team. And now for the host nation, Georgia.
National anthem of Georgia.
So much pride from these two teams. They've got their families here in the stands, both looking for a victory here today to seal their ticket to the second round of the FIBA World Cup Championships. We are here in Okinawa, Japan, as the two meet at mid-court to exchange a gift from their home country. And this is the third all-time meeting between these two nations, as this officiating crew will have the tall task of calling a clean game. As we know, there's so much on the line. In those two previous meetings, it has been Slovenia that has bested Georgia by a good margin. Both of those contests stemming from 2019 in the World Cup qualifier.
It is, but as we know with the World Cup qualifiers, sometimes the personnel is vastly different to what you see when you actually get to the World Cup. So it's really a nation-building process just to get here, because some of these players are playing in the NBA and they're not available for many of the World Cup qualifying games. So that does present some challenges. But notwithstanding that, if we take a look at the starters, and as we mentioned, Mike Tobey and Luka Doncic, they've been the two go-to guys, but Zoran Dragic is also a star. And what he can do, the most experienced player ever to pull on a Slovenian jersey, scored over 1,000 points, the only player to do that. And this man's going to catch him, and catch him quick if he keeps putting up numbers like he did against Venezuela with the 37, 7, and 6. Don't forget about the 7 and 6. You get caught up in the 37, but the 7 and 6 still very, very significant. And there's the other player that I was talking about, Mike Tobey, naturalized Slovenian. He's a star. He's been playing in Europe for quite a number of years from the University of Virginia, and just recently signed to play in Serbia.
And this team is led by Alexander Sekulic. He's led this group to a 2021 Tokyo Olympics fourth place finish, and certainly they had a run in the Eurobasket. Poland had their name and number called though, and so they did not make it to the final. So there's a lot of unfinished business for Slovenia, even though everybody here in Okinawa has marked this team, knowing that Luka Doncic is the biggest star here. Everybody coming and gunning for Slovenia. And on the other side, Georgia, they were gonna stick with the same 4 starters from game day #1 in the victory over Cape Verde. Their captain, Shengelia, number 23 there. And a little X factor will be coming off the bench in Goga Bitadze. He's that other NBA star from the Orlando Magic. But this guy, the captain, he had a premonition that he would be here in Okinawa. And here's a look at his stats in the first game.
It was impressive. A slow start. He was 1 of 6 in the game when he turned it on in the latter stages. He ended up 6 of 11 from the field. So he's going to be a prime target. And there we talk about their other star, Goga Bitadze. He's big, runs the floor well. The rebound, he anchors the work on the glass with those 11 boards, but the 15 points and the coach.
Yeah, Georgia's led by Ilias Zouros here, making their first appearance in the World Cup. They had wins in the lead-up competition to here over Jordan, Montenegro, and Iran. You know, they talk about their strength. They say that's their inside game. They have some depth. But really, what sets them apart when asked when they're going to face a Luka Doncic team is really their fighting spirit. They know they got to play together, and they got to try to do their best to find a solution for Luka Magic.
Yeah, they do, as all teams do. And they got off to a slow start in that first game against Cape Verde. And surprisingly, again, they go with a similar starting lineup. And they're 2 NBA players, Sandro Mamukelashvili and Goga Bitadze, not starting. So they play starter minutes, though. In fact, Sandro Mamukelashvili, he played the most minutes of anyone in that game 1.
And he's a Seton Hall grad.
My word, he is.
Some extra shout-outs here.
The mighty Seton Hall Pirates, 4 seasons in Slovenia. You see what they did against Venezuela. They completely dominated the paint.
And not only that, they made 78.6% of all their attempted 2-pointers. That was the highest scoring percentage of any team during game day 1 of the FIBA World Cup. And on the other end, Georgia and Coach Zouros, well, they debuted with a victory 25-point win over Cape Verde. And they're trying to string together 2. The last European team to do that in competition was Lithuania in 1998.
Well, those stats you read out are significant, with Slovenia making 78.6% of their 2-point attempts, and that is their ability to get to the rim. Luka can knock down the 3 ball, and they will take their fair share of threes, but when you're that efficient getting into the paint, that's quite extraordinary to have those types of numbers. And in fact, it's the highest scoring percentage of any team during game 1 of this version of the FIBA World Cup. So it's going to be harder because you've got a lot more size that you're going at here with Georgia. And what tactics do you use? Do you concede Luka and just let him do his thing and focus in on stopping everyone else, or do you throw your energies into Luka? There's a whole bunch of different ways you could tackle this Slovenian team, and we'll see what Georgia dishes up.
And that's their captain, Toko Shengelia, and on the other side, Luka Doncic. Doncic is 37 points in that first game. His first ever on the World Cup stage was the most by any player in a World Cup debut since 1986. That's before I was born, and we know before anybody else on this court was born.
I was running around in the 1986 World Cup that was held in Spain. Barely remember it.
Tip ball goes to Georgia. Andrew Nekoshvili and company here, St. Anze. The feed down low, turn, spin, hook. The tip might have gone in from the opposing team.
And Luka, as soon as the ball hits the rim, you're allowed to play it live, unlike If you watch NBA games, that would have been a goaltend.
Doncic kicks it. Toby. They were Batman and Robin the other day underneath the basket. Contested. McFadden inside. The captain, turn, shoot, kicks it. Pass back door. Hitting the deck there hard. Georgia fighting for a third attempt here. No lucky bounce in the paint here, battling. How many chances are they going to be given? There's a whistle. Georgie Sharamadini doing all the work.
Sharamadini, my word. He started with the sky hook. We saw that as part of his repertoire. Toby tries to hit it off, and just the relentless pressure on the board, and eventually it's a foul.
The foul going against Prepelic. As Sharamadini, the 34-year-old center, hits the first. Georgia has some special fans here in the stand. Zaza Pachulia is here.
World champ, pretty sure he won an NBA title. So we shouldn't use that terminology. This is the true world champs right here.
Doncic misses his take through the gut. Shengelia will pull things back out. And a pure intention here to work the inside-out game. Shengelia, nothing there. Doncic eyes down court. On the run. A little helter-skelter was a miss by Dragic.
Sharamadini is the one they've been going to every play, and they go back to him again.
They must have liked a mismatch or identified something in the game tape here.
Well, it's certainly not by accident. It made a target of him in the first 4 possessions.
Doncic with a clear size advantage gets hacked in the back. Sharamadini.
From behind. That time Sharamadini just whacked him and got Luka in the back of the back of the head. Have a look there, you see it. Cracks him in the back of the scon. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot a couple of free throws. As we mentioned in that game one, he can go in spells where this can be a little bit of an adventure for him at the free throw line.
And Luka's dad is here, watching on and cheering.
74% free throw shooter with the Dallas Mavericks last season. And when you look at his technique, it just can get a little flat from time to time. Nice rotation on the ball.
And Slovenia picking up 3/4 court. Then Adze looking for a teammate, as on the floor is Nikolic.
Yeah, they were looking to the post up. This time it was going to be Shengelia as he does the cut down to the low block. They are really strategically making a point of emphasis to get one of their bigs on the box.
Shengelia turns, spinning. Will take it, lay in with the left, misses, gobbled up is the board by Prepelic. And Nikolic, he gets stripped, left the ball behind. Shengelia, a kick, no, into the other team's hands. Too hot to handle there for Nikolic. And a foul as Luka Doncic will head back to the free throw line to shoot 3.
It is, that's crafty. Luka knew that he had his opponent off balance, and he just have a look. You see it just. Sanodze just out of position, and Luka takes advantage of it. That's the basketball IQ of the man. This has been a horrific start from the field for both teams. Collectively, the two teams are 0 of 11. We have yet to see a field goal made. Slovenia 0 of 4, and Georgia 0 of 7.
Luka 4 for 4 here on the free throw line.
And this is the worst thing you can do when you've got a superstar is get him on the free throw line. He sees the ball going in, builds up his confidence. Perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And he's got a little something to say too to the Georgia fans, it looked like.
McFadden with a little bounce to him. Senadze trying to go over Doncic, no way. Doncic kicks, spotting up Prepelic, nothing there. Another attempt, this time a bunny in the field. First field goal for Slovenia goes to Doncic. McFadden, his pockets are picked, no. Andrew Nekoshvili gets it back. Now McFadden on the wing.
Lakers can't find the net. 0 of 8 now for Georgia. This man's got all 7 for Slovenia. And he's going to go to the line yet again to shoot his 6th and 7th free throws. And when you're struggling from the field, this can be the answer to that problem. Put some heat on the rim. And again, another slow start from the starters from Georgia.
So Coach Zoros here has chosen to make some substitutions as Luka's thumbs up means things are going well for Slovenia. Bataze on the floor now, and Mamuke Lashvili.
It was a similar slow start by Georgia
against Cape Verde.
Yeah, it was. And again, they stayed with the same starters, but they make the change, and Sandro Mamuke Lashvili comes back in, or comes in for his first action.
1 for 2, Slovenia up by 6. 6.5 to play in the first. McFadden changing up his speed here. Shengelia kicks it. McFadden step through 3. Too much on it. Doncic with the rebound.
0 of 9 and counting.
So Goga on Doncic. A miss. And a foul here coming from Dragic.
Dragic, you walk a real thin line when you do that. Years ago, we used to see that all the time. And they brought in a rule to be an unsportsmanlike, and they got it. Dragic, they just reached for it. And I guess they deemed that it was a legitimate play on the ball. Might have just stretched their imaginations ever so slightly to come up with that conclusion.
Andrew Nekoshvili, the point guard for Georgia, trying to give it to Bataze there. He gets it back. Corner shot.
Travel.
Instead, he'll
I don't know
scramble.
why. I don't think they saw it. He realized that he dribbled the ball. Didn't look like a travel. Head fake, put the ball to the floor. And interesting to see the replay. And to me, that is not a travel. Head fake. Oh, a little shuffle before. Now that technically is a travel, but I've seen a whole lot worse not called. And you can see the coach of Georgia, he's not happy with it at all. But correct call, the little shuffling, you change your pivot foot before you put the ball to the floor. That is a travel. And I like this sub here. Sinzaze, when they were struggling against Cape Verde, number 8, Giorgi Sinzaze, he came on and lit it up. Back-to-back threes, 2, had 8 points, and really turned the tide.
Doncic working behind the screen from Toby. Bataze trying and staying in front of him. Staying tall, and he hits it over him. Doncic gets the jumper. Doncic has all of 10 points for Slovenia. Sinzaze sticking with it. The feed taken away. One extra pass, too many. The feed, Doncic up to Dragic. And that one right there is gonna force Georgia to take a timeout.
Turnovers killing Georgia. That's their 4th turnover, and it's never a good turnover, but some turnovers are worse than others, and that's a terrible one because it led to a easy leaking out in transition to Dragic.
When Toko gets the ball, 10 players there. You're here. Now we're here. Continue. Pass the ball. You miss two. You're gonna score. You're gonna score.
Let's run it.
If we don't shoot these balls and we don't score. Yes, we have to shoot. You are open. We're gonna score. The only problem is defense. Concentrate in defense. Now offense. Offense, we run Boston and Boston clear. No, sorry. 6 and 6 down. 6 and 6 down.
We got you.
So Slovenia and Luka Doncic, it's been a matinee here in the first 5 minutes.
Well, straight after that possession, which we saw where Luka took it right at Bitadze, he went to the coach and said, get him in the switch. I want to take him one-on-one. So you don't be surprised to see an on-ball with Bitadze getting into a switch and Luka going on it if they stay with the switching defense.
A look here by Mukalushvili.
0 for 10.
Don't worry, everybody at home. Andrew Gaze is keeping track for you.
This is extraordinary, and that's a tough shot. Need something like that. What a pass!
A Doncic dinner party. Doncic to Toby.
And he's loving his own work too, Luka, as he comes back and celebrates, and why wouldn't you? That's something special from Luka. He's got 10 of the 14, and he's dropping sweet passes. The man is just beautiful. And no, look, a hook pass right on point to Toby. Two of the easiest Toby's going to get tonight, courtesy of the great one. Look at him, loving it. The joy that he gets from playing basketball, it's great to watch.
Shengelia, the ball knocked out.
Oh, no.
Samar.
They want to, if they're going to challenge, I would not challenge. You only get one, but that came straight off Shengelia.
So Sinsaze to inbound. Shengelia on the curl, and there is the first field goal. So Samar to Doncic. Through the legs of Bintaze. Takeaway, Georgia. Shengelia now from 3. A miss. Covered by Peprelic, and Doncic sending his teammates through. A reach in from Sinsaze as he helps Doncic up.
You know, I don't mind that by Sinsaze just being physical. I think if you just let Luka come down and showboat with the great passes, the nice shots, you've got to try something different. He's too good. And without being stupid, trying to rough him up and be as physical as you can with him is not a bad strategy.
Peprelic driving, he'll dish to the big guy on the opposite block. Foul comes down. And Demets will get 2 on the free throw line.
Peprelic there with the nice pass, and that's one of the things that's great about this Slovenian team. They know who the main man is in Luka, and then everyone else plays so unselfish. They're prepared to make the extra pass. Really well-balanced, well-structured team. And acutely aware of their role on the team.
2 shots.
So Giga Dimas misses the first. And 6'11", 30-year-old for Slovenia. This team is making their 4th World Cup appearance, and they opened up with a 15-point victory against Venezuela. He misses both. Sinsaze. This team in motion now for Georgia. McFadden drawing the contact and one. He's gonna get another shot. A veteran move there by McFadden.
It is. It's Samar that's with the foul and didn't do a lot wrong. McFadden just played for that foul and got the reward.
Samar to Doncic here. In front of them is Mamuke Lushwili. Turn and shoot, fade away, off, foul is called. Late whistle.
Very late. Look at Mamuke Lushwili. He can't believe it. What did I do? He cannot believe it. And I tend to agree with him. Luka is so hard to officiate because his head snaps back when he's dribbling. He's flopping all over the place with any sort of contact and puts a lot of pressure on the officials. And that time, I think he got the benefit of the doubt.
What do they say? Ball does not lie. He missed the first. Doncic with 10 of Slovenia's 14 points. Neither team shooting well here in the first quarter from the field.
It's an understatement. But Slovenia not terrible. 4 of 10, you can kind of live with that. You want better, but you live with that. 2 of 13 for Georgia, that's the problem.
Sintaze here on the roll. The kick to the corner. Driving in, the big guy, Mamuke Lushwili.
And that's really his strength. He can shoot it. He's not a great shooter, but the athleticism, that is a big body coming at you. Sandro Mamuke Lushwili gets to the rim and earns the and one.
A 6'10", 24-year-old who plays for the San Antonio Spurs is on the free throw line. Chance to cut the lead here.
Was with the Bucks when he came out of Seton Hall, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Beautiful stroke there.
54th pick in the 2021 draft.
Doncic kicks it, corner. Samar there, spotted up, misses. Prepelic dribbles it out. Pick and roll, interrupted, hands there. Dimetz sticking with it, no way. Cleaning up the board, Bataze. Sinsaze calling for the screen. Gets it over to Bataze from 3. That guy can hit it. The Orlando Magic center. 4-3. That one narrowing the lead to 3.
This has been a good fight back. Georgia having all sorts of problems finding the net in the first 6.5 minutes, but things slowly grinding it out, getting some stops. And now they start to see the ball drop.
A 10-3 run for Georgia, and Slovenia is calling a timeout.
Kaj ti zdaj na pleja? Aj stisnemo ga malo, sam pazi bonus je. Idemo. Luka, ker ti vzej žogo. Kaj gre s prletom, igramo horse 3. Ok? 4, 5. Rolaj, išči žogo, pa gremo v stagger tu. Če ni nič, imamo telega spacing. okay? Hey, one more. We need to.
We're not gonna win the game first quarter. Let's go. Hey, take it easy.
Hey.
Don't copy mistakes. Everybody.
That last little note shared, everybody rebound. McFadden, the catalyst here to get things going offensively for Georgia, and then the big guy, Sandro Mamukalashvili, not taking anything to chance and going right to the rack.
It certainly is, and pick and pop with the bigs.
So Goga Metaze scoring from outside. Mamukalashvili taking it inside. And the defense ratcheting up here for Georgia. Under 2 to play in the first. Doncic with the handle, driving, will put his shoulder through and get another chance from the free throw line.
As I said, he's hard to officiate.
Follow Georgia, number 6, Singh. First personal. Free throw, Doncic, 2 shots.
And I'd say he's bemused at what he needs to do in order to not send Luke up to the free throw line. He goes up, you see him in the top of your screen there, just talking to the officials. It did look like he was pretty stationary with his hands vertical. Now, coach wants to challenge it. See, I think even if you win this challenge, do you really want to burn it right now? Because unlike other leagues around the world, you only get one. You only get one challenge. And even if you're correct,
You still lose it. You burn it.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and
I'm
listen
not sure,
in.
as they officially, I think they're trying to withdraw their challenge.
They're out of bounds. Okay?
So they will go back and look at the instant playback here.
Wow.
Okay, we are going to check the out of bounds. Last touch. Last white. Frame by frame. We never touch it.
I never think of touching it
No?
either. No. So,
After the review, the ball is white, okay? Let's go.
So not only does Slovenia challenge, but they lose the challenge here, 148 in the first quarter.
Yep. And I don't get the point of using it. It's such a line ball decision anyway. And
Frame by
it's
frame.
a possession that you... Okay. Going to make some turnovers, going to make some mistakes along the way, and the officials are going to do that too. Some of them you got to live with. You'd rather just keep that in your pocket for when it might have a little bit more relevance.
Simzaze with the ball, working behind the screen from Baitaze, and he didn't need any help on the wing. Mid-range goes down.
Simzaze really mature in the way he goes about it. Never looks like he's in a hurry, and worked that on ball really well.
On the curl for Palic. Follow through there, but can't finish. McFadden scoring up lefty Mamukalashvili. He had one inside, now he's got one outside.
And more importantly, Georgia have hit the lead after a horrific 0 of 10 start from the field. They've now gone 6 of 7 in their next 7 field goal attempts.
Doncic here to Nikolic. and flashing Mamukaloshvili. So 30 seconds here in the first quarter. On the corner, the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Georgia. And quick substitution here by Slovenia.
Good hit by Mamukaloshvili.
McFadden in the corner. 4 on the shot clock. McFadden working off the screen. Creates enough space. It gets off in time. It's a miss. And Luka now with 8 seconds to play with. Doncic. Open look corner. Blazic won't go down. And there's nothing there. At the end of the first quarter, it is Georgia who is leading by 1. 17-16.
What a turnaround we saw in that after a horrific shooting start by Georgia. Eventually they get themselves going, and it was almost like they swapped jerseys. Timeout about midway through that first quarter, and then all of a sudden Slovenia couldn't throw it in the ocean. We look at the stats. Neither team lights out. 33% for Georgia and 27%, 4 of 15. But Slovenia has been able to find a way to get to the free throw line. That's the big difference. They shot 13 free throws in that first quarter, 8 of 13. Georgia only went to the line 4 times, 3 of 4.
And Doncic had 13 of his own. 12 points total, but 13 shots from the free throw line. Oh, my numbers, my eyes are confusing me. Only 11 there.
That's still a lot. If he keeps at that pace, he'll end up with 44 free throws. And that's certainly not going to happen, but a lot of free throws.
But at that timeout was around the same time that Georgia made the roster and
Spot on.
the changes to bring in those 2 NBA guys and Mamukaloshvili and Bitaze.
It is, and it was almost identical to what we saw in the first game. And I tell you, if you want to follow the World Cup, Spina, this app is just got it all. We use it all the time. Keep up to date with all the games. So many games going on. Stats, figures, great stories. It's all there for you. Get your camera out. We're going to show that barcode a little bit later on. Scan it, download it, and enjoy the hoops.
Courtside 1891 app. That's what Andrew Days is chatting about. In front of us, though, the start of the second quarter. 1-point ball game. Group F play. Winner seals their ticket to the second round. And Doncic, his first 3-ball of the contest.
He's so big. When he's got little guys on him, that step back, almost impossible to guard because of his size. Just shoots over the top of people.
And nobody getting in the way of Mamukaloshvili.
Well, hasn't he come on and sparked? He's got 8 points now. 3 of 4 from the field. Look at just bully ball. Get out of my way. I'm getting to the cup. Gives him a little look as well, but this is special. That step back. Chinchaladze had very little chance. Not much more he could have done.
Doncic again. Heat check. That one's short. Hot potato. It will go Georgia's way. all. Slovenia jumped out early to a 12-2 lead.
And as we expect, it's been the Luka show with 15 points, but as this rolls on, they've got to find a way to get others involved. In particular, Mike Toby had 21 in the first game. He's been a mainstay for this Slovenian team over the last couple of years. Averaged a double-double at the Tokyo Olympics. McFadden comes down and knocks down a three of his own.
And anything you can do,
No.
I can do better.
No, he can't. No, he can't.
He can try. How about that?
There you go. That's more like it.
Blazic to the rack. They're going to call the foul here against Bataze. His second personal.
Here he is, McFadden. And you can understand why they go underneath the screen. He has not, or hadn't been shooting the ball all that well in this one, so they decide to go under the on-ball screen, and he makes them pay. He's 0-3 before that last make from the three-point line.
And a substitution here for Coach Zoros. He's putting Shengelia back on the floor, and Bataze will sit here now with 2 personal fouls.
And that's the other thing I love about Coach Zoros, is that in that last time out, McFadden had missed a couple, and he passed up a scoring option, and he looked at him and he went at him. He's like, shoot the ball. We need you to score. Shoot the ball. And as a player, you love to hear that, the confidence that the coach has in you to let it fly.
Blazic there hits both of them. Georgia steaming down court.
Ooh.
Nearly a walk, a kick to the corner. Open look. Can't go down. We're running with Nikolic. And a foul from behind.
And Luke is still down at the other end of the floor. It's going to be 2 shots.
He'll jog up court and have questions for the officials, saying he got poked in the eye. As him and Mamukelishvili
You see the foul.
reconcile.
Yeah, I think it was clearly something inadvertent. Let's see, let's have a look. There it is, just on the rebound. Just a little poke in the eye. Not a whole lot in it. But if you've ever been poked in the eye, it doesn't take much for that to be very, very painful.
So Jaka Blazic, the 33-year-old guard, is on the free throw line. 3 points for him today. This one knotting the game up at 22.
Plays his basketball in Turkey. Good free throw shooter in that league, 84%. And knocks him down.
So Mamukelishvili will get it into the hands of Jinchar Adze. The feed inside. That outside return, Jinchar Adze with the 3. Back to the original game plan here for Georgia. The shots are dropping now. Blazic needs help. Goes back door. Pass intercepted. How about this? The attack, another chance coming through. 3rd chance to charm, no. Doncic across to the left, tangled up. And it looks like this is gonna go against Shengelia.
Yeah, just a little bit of confusion. The on-ball screen came, and sure, Jinchar Adze not allow him to accept the screen, and that's okay if you're going to do that, but whoever's guarding the screener has got to be in that drops position. There was no one there. They were getting ready to help on the other side, and if that's the case, you've got to force him to the screen. Try and force Luka to the help. So a miscommunication, Luka takes advantage of it, gets into the paint. He's making a living at the free throw line, 9 of 12.
Poked away, Doncic in the corner. Quick glance over, gets it to his teammate Nikolic. Nikolic just trying to get some clearance. Shot up by Prepelic, and he gets the 3 from downtown. Bine Prepelic. He's got a cousin on the team. Shengelia on the box, draws two. And Jincharadze again, 2 3 balls when this team needed it. So Doncic driving left, spins. He felt Toby there. Lejic. Wow, the roller on the opposite side of the rim.
That is a tough shot in traffic.
And then hands over the foul, but what a layout there by Jakub Lejic.
It was in traffic. And it just was almost like it was in slow motion at the end. He just held onto it long enough and got enough spin on it. Jincharadze has done a great job of knocking down those 3 balls. A couple of wide open looks that he's been good enough to hit.
Shengelia take it to the rack. And a couple missed opportunities for Georgia in close range. Doncic getting a breather on the bench. Dragic threading the needle to Toby. He's denied, but with contact.
Just a superb pass by Dragic. Comes off and knew where Toby was going to be. Look at that. There is no margin for error. And still good enough to thread the needle and find his teammate. Toby goes to the line, shoot a couple.
Toby had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and he was perfect from the field against Venezuela 2 nights ago.
Jordan Dragic has played the most games for Slovenia, 90 of them, and he scored the most points, 1,095 for the Slovenian national team. That's some heavy lifting over a number of years.
Toby hits them both. And Slovenia here going full court, picking up Georgia. Ushwili with the ball driving, mid-range jumper, good for 2.
It is, mid-range pull-up. Don't see a whole lot of that in basketball these days, but that looked pretty nice.
Toby, how about from 3? Rebound, Slovenia gets a second chance, courtesy Prepelic. That was Bene with the rebound. Driving on the left, with the guy riding him was Zoran Dragic. Kilgoshvili over to Shengelia. Extra pass down low on the block, the finish by the veteran Sherry Medini.
Yeah, the penetrating dish. What a pass. That's been a big weapon. That's been a whole lot of movement by Georgia, but anytime they put it to the floor, the ability to draw the defense and make the pass.
Dragic drawing 3.
Dragic.
And it's going the other way. He can't believe it.
Trying to do the same thing. Not a lot of action, but down there, gets in, he's complaining, but he's not going to get a lot of sympathy. Have a look. They get the switch, and so much switching going on. The bigs have to guard the little, and that's all clean. Nothing to see here. It looked like it's a block. I'm not sure why it wouldn't be going back to Slovenia. That looked like a block to you, Despina? I couldn't see where. Certainly no foul, but looked like it should have been Slovenian ball.
That's probably why there was some confusion there. Anyway, Mamukashvili will get charged with an offensive. And Mamuke Lashvili wants to know more. What's going on?
Yeah.
And now he's asking for a review.
Let's have a look. What did he do wrong? He didn't, from that angle, it didn't look like he went forward. Like I said, just going straight up. The guy's in his space. Didn't have the elbow out, just his normal shooting action. So much physical contact here. It's a tough game to officiate, this one.
1 point game, 4:13 to play in the first half. Slovenia, Georgia, Group F play, the 2 unbeatens. And Prepelic is going to be able to shoot 3 here.
And the officials have had enough. I think they've also called a tech foul on the Georgia bench.
And coach asking for a replay.
He wants to challenge the call.
Meanwhile, it's Toko Shengelia gathering his team in some composure here on the court.
He wanted a challenge, and don't know why he wasn't allowed. Wow, we've got some strange goings on here in this one. It's going to be, they've shot the technical, and
here's 3 more coming for Klemen Prepelic.
It's a big moment. Such an evenly fought contest here. Gee.
So Zoros picks up the technical foul for Georgia. And it looks like either he pulled back on the review,
no, he
or
did.
it was not awarded.
Well, the only thing I can think of, maybe they shot the technical foul too quickly, and the next play phase had already started, perhaps.
Either way, now Slovenia with a 5-point lead. Shinge Lia attempt is no good. Prepelic on the trail. It's it. The man is doing his job today. Klemen Prepelic. 7 points for number 7.
Backing up his good work that he did in game 1 with the 18 points. There's the play, kick it out. Shengelia, there's the block. What a block. He's really good at the rim protection. And Dragic comes down, sees Prepelic, and and he knocks it down, and Luke is happy, as he should be. It was just a turn of events.
Can we play the fighting defense? Offense. Flash 1. 5 will screen 4. Ted, you are here. Randy, you are here. Do that here. We pass to the 4. 5. Randy, you go. Do that. Immediately. Good player.
Wow. Emotional timeout by Georgia, pleading to get some defense. But what a turn of events. Up 1, I think it was, and Sandro Mamukelashvili goes in, and seemingly they call the offensive foul. And it was an interesting one, and since then, it just the whole thing flipped. Technical foul, more free throws.
And what a better feeling as Luka can soak up some extra time on the bench as his team has pushed out to an 8-point advantage.
I need our stats people to have a look at the free throws as well. 19 to 25. They've had 25 free throws, and we've still got 3.5 minutes to go in the half.
And we're in the bonus the rest of the way. Georgia's already picked up their 5 team fouls here in the second quarter. And there's another, an offensive against McFadden.
And that one did look like he extended the arm out, dealing with the pressure. Have a look at the left arm, the hook. There it is there. That's a correct call. Now, they haven't been getting the rub of the green with some of the officiating, but you can't complain about that. But when you've lost a couple of those 50-50s, you think the whole weight of the world is against you. And got to make sure you try and stay objective about it all.
Bitadze back on the floor for Georgia. Nikolic beating his defender here. I know, whistle. Lots of whistles here in this contest, Andrew.
It is. And both teams really putting it all out there on the defensive end. And as I said, it's making it a difficult stop-start game and difficult on the officials. That time it was Mike Toby. He's got the 5 boards. Haven't seen a lot of it on the offensive end. Georgia have done a good job containing him.
McFadden creates his own. A miss. Falls into the hands of Krpelic. Nearly backcourt. And Nikolic will slow things down, call the play for Slovenia. Nikolic, one-on-one with McFadden, misses. Gets his own rebound by the grace of you-know-who, and no shot up in time. It's a shot clock violation.
What has happened with this run by Slovenia, it's allowed Slovenia to get some good rest into Luka. He's checking back in for the last 2.5, but you've got a good 3 or 4 minutes on the bench.
So here we go. Ball in the hands of Andrew Nikolic. The captain, Shengelia. Working off the screen from Bitadze. Not the shot Georgia wanted there.
And they get in those on balls, there's no movement. It's something we've seen quite regularly. They just get straight into it. I think with a team like Georgia, you've got to try and move the defense around before you get to that situation.
Toby staying with the call. Batman and Robin, they're working again.
What a pass, and Luka says to his coach, let's repeat that, let's do it again.
Into Nikolic. Ball taken away, a turnover. Doncic, Krpelic. And Toby and crew will reset. Doncic. In front of him is Bitadze, contested, won't drop. How about another chance? All the defensive work, and Slovenia gets the ball back. Bitadze, Doncic slips past him, and it counts. Luka Doncic, unstoppable through the lane.
And Bitadze, he did the right thing. Make Luka beat you off the dribble rather than just standing back, so he closes out. Now this is going to be capable. Just Shengelia doesn't quite get there, moving to his right, doesn't get there in time, but I think that Bitadze did the right thing. You saw the time before when he didn't and he wasn't tight. Luka shot the 3 in his eye and rattled around and just missed, so he made the adjustment, just didn't get the weak side help there in time.
So Doncic now with 19 points. His team up by 13. A little over a minute to play here in the first half. Mamukelashvili misses from 3. And Doncic here with the ball. Here comes his favorite screener, Mike Toby. That shot way off its mark. And Shengelia is fouled.
And that's another one that walked that fine line for an unsportsmanlike. There is absolutely no question of the intent. Was there a legitimate play on the ball? The whole purpose of the rule was to stop action like that, where they just vow to stop the play. know, and a lot of other international leagues around the world that would be shooting 2 and side ball, because you want to eradicate that from the game. It's hard. It's hard on the officials because, well, it's a judgment call. Is he going for the ball? Is there excessive contact? All those things that come into play.
Zaze. Quick handoff. Shengelia with the ball. And a foul handed over. This one by Shibacek. The 4th team foul for Slovenia. So fresh shot clock for Georgia. They'll take it out under their own basket. Coach Zoros watching on. Shengelia on the block. And he will head to the free throw line.
Toby gets his hand in the wrong spot. That's his second personal foul to Mike Toby. That's a big part of what they do as well. Across the board, they've got good size, but we saw in that first quarter when he checks out of the game, it's a different look for Slovenia. He's an integral part of what Slovenia is doing.
This is Shengelia's wife in the stands. I know he's got family members here.
He's had a tough time. They've done a good job on him. And this is the free throw. Only has the 3 points. The captain, Shengelia.
No shot clock. Doncic with the ball. In front of him is Mamukelashvili. Doncic, no look. Extra pass outside to Shibacek. Misses. Gobbled up there by Bitaze. And nobody gets anything. So at the end of 2 quarters of play, it's Slovenia up by 12, 45-33. They've weathered the game of runs, and Doncic's crew carries the weight as he got a breather there in the second quarter.
Well, they did, and it was really good minutes when he was on the bench, and they got it going offensively. 29 points to 16 in that second quarter. And they cranked up the defense. They got it going with a steady diet of getting to the free throw line. 26 free throws Slovenia shot in that first half. 20 of them they made at 77%. And it's, again, Mamukelashvili coming off the bench and giving them an offensive spark with the 10. And, well, I think we're going to be saying this a lot throughout this tournament. Luka Doncic leading the way with 19.
Two quarters of play are in the books. Both of these teams unbeaten here. The winner seals their ticket to the second round of the Men's World Cup. We're in Okinawa, Japan. Andrew Gaze, Despina Barton at halftime. Slovenia and Luka Doncic out in front, 45-33.
And there you see your two key players to match up. Shengelia, as we mentioned, he's 0 of 6, 1 of 6 from the field. He only has the 3. And Luka, he is a very special player. 4 of 8 from the field. He's been able to find his way to free throw line, 10 of 14. And here we see Sandro Mamukelashvili coming off. Had some moments as well, McFadden. But it's just a struggle on the offensive end. Only 16 points in the second quarter for Georgia. Slovenia coming out with the 2019, and that's what I think Georgia's going to talk about. You heard it, saw it, and heard it in the timeout with their coach, Ilias Zuraus, talking, screaming, berating his players about the requirement on the defensive end, and I think they're going to get a a fair hearing about what they need to do on the defensive end at this time in this halftime break as well.
It's a dozen points that separate Slovenia and Georgia here in Group F play. 2 quarters complete, 2 more to go. Georgia in their first ever World Cup experience and appearance here on this world stage is going to try and find a way to slow Slovenia down. A tall task for one of the best players in the world, Luka Doncic, having his way through the lane. And he's fired up, friends. Halftime, his team up 45-33.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Fournier, oh, dumping down low, and how about that? And one by Rusele. And Latvia just not ready to defend the out-of-bounds play.
That's all it was.
Shot clock. How about that? What a game that man is having for Latvia. Number 55. Shot clock. Game clock, I should say. Tough shot. He gets it up, and it's good! As he is going to put France up 33-26 after 10. How about that?
And Lebanon in the first game, and it is through their defense, their offensive rebound, and all those things.
Welcome to the world, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. How easy does he make it look?
Too easy.
Mills looking for some help.
Give me a spell.
Wow.
Give me a spell!
He's got 13.
My goodness! Oh, hello.
Good night.
Great pass. It's an easy pass, I guess, when you've got a guy like Markkanen with his size.
Kawamura shakes again, this time Kanturi, and he makes it in his eye! Japan, a 4-point lead, and this guy's got ice in his veins.
Oh, pump fakes the pass, goes in. Tries to go for the tip in. No good. Now Angola can push this. Down 5 feet off Fernando and Boa Noiche. Good night. Fernando with no regard for the transition defense.
That was a vicious finish there from Fernando.
Oh, RJ Barrett!
Haydar stayed down after that. You got a picture of him there, like he sort of rolled it.
Backdoor feed, Giddy. That shot always 100%.
Well, that was true. Tiemann who went up with Giddy, and Giddy was still able to knock it down.
Away in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back inside Okinawa Arena. First half of play is in the books. Luka Doncic doing Luka Doncic things. 19 points, 75% from two-point range, and he's made a lot of trips to the free throw line, Mr. Andrew Gaze.
He has, and it's one of the problems that Georgia have to figure out, and trying to keep the ball out of his hands is the simple solution, but it's hard to execute. He's so good at it. He can get it off the glass. Very good rebounder as well. And they do a good job of creating for him and trying to take away or keep him off the free throw line. He's got the benefit of the doubt a couple of times, but other times he just flat out being fouled. And he's going to always ask the question of your opponent and of the officials with the way he plays, and he's been to the line 14 times, 10 of 14, and the vast majority of those is because Georgia haven't been able to figure out a way in which to slow him down.
On the other end, it is Sandro Mamukalashvili. 10 points, 3 for 5, and a 3-ball. And he came off the bench. Slow start for Georgia and Coach Elias Zoros. They now find themselves down by 12. And I'm guessing Mamukalashvili is going to need some assistance.
Oh, my word, he is. They've got a lot of talent on their team, but we just haven't been able to get it going. The other one that's been down but has not seen a lot of the ball, a lot of the touches on the offensive end is their other guy, Goga Bitadze. Just hasn't been able to get too many touches. 1 of 1 from the field.
And he's
Bitadze, but there you see the shot chart. And a lot of those ones, those couple of mates you see with the green, it's him off the bounce. He just gets a good header, speed up, gets downhill, and can finish around the rim. The 33 points, that puts enormous pressure on your defense. Got to find a way to loosen up the offense a little bit, and hopefully, for Georgia's sake, try and slow down Luka Doncic. Dragic has been good with setting that, dropping those assists, but it's going to be a tough one from Georgia, you suspect, given the nature of the way that the game has gone and the pressure that Slovenia puts their defense under and the way in which they can get into the paint.
And each of the times that Slovenia and Georgia have played prior to today, it's been Slovenia that has won 2-0 as far as the all-time series goes. But we're in Okinawa, Japan. This is the FIBA Men's World Cup. The rosters are different than the time they met before. What's on the line? A chance here to seal a bid and stamp their ticket to the next round, the second round of the World Cup, which we know is not so easy, because guess who's sitting at home and not advancing after yesterday's play? A favorite, France.
Yeah, that was one of the shocks of the round, and France are out. They're 0-2 after being embarrassed, annihilated by Canada by 30, and then they weren't able to bounce back. Latvia comes in, and in a game that for a big chunk of that game, France had control and weren't able to close it out.
And look there at the leaders for Georgia, Sensase with assists. And this is a group making their first ever World Cup appearance. They walked in with some preliminary non-competition wins over Jordan, Montenegro, and Iran. And they are going to rely on their NBA star here to pull off a comeback. One thing about Georgia is they know that they're the underdogs, right? There's no pressure on their backs.
Well, there's always pressure because it's self-imposed pressure, because you want to do the best you can and you want to get through and continue your goal of trying to win a championship.
But you're the one pursuing the team. They want to knock Luka and Slovenia off. They're the underdogs.
Well, there's certainly the expectation from the outside is that Slovenia are the ones that are expected to win. But Georgia's got a lot of talent, and internally they would be disappointed with that first half. I think that they've got some issues. They've got to be careful on the bench. The bench has already got a tech foul, so there's been a lot of back and forth with the officials, and sometimes you don't necessarily feel like you're getting a fair crack at it, but right now you don't want to get distracted either, and I thought Georgia got a little distracted in that first half as well.
The energy tracker here on the screen.
Cut. Dribble fast here. Good screen.
I'll have to get some help on exactly what our measurements are here.
Wait, don't go, don't come up. If he doesn't have something, he pass to you.
But the energy is high here inside Okinawa Arena.
Hey, be ready. They will go some special play now.
Doncic in Slovenia. 12-point advantage here midway through the contest.
I think the energy tracker is referring to the minutes played, and that's the sort of stuff that you can get on the app. They'll have all those details for you, and it's to scan that code, jump on the app, and there's any energy tracker information. There's all sorts of statistics that make it fun to watch and follow the World Cup.
Andrew, I wonder what your energy tracker would be at right now.
Well, I'm playing 40 minutes a game right now, and I'm backing up with back-to-back games. So the energy tracker still, when you've got quality games like we get to call, it's alive, pumped.
The energy doesn't stop. Third quarter, Georgia ball, room to make up, and it's a charge. Goga Bitadze opens things up, and we're looking at Coach Zoros calling a review.
No, I think that'd be a wasted review if you looked at it. And it's just another example of how you feel like everything's going against you if you're Georgia, but that time it looked like Luka got there and established his ground. Well, I like the call first up, trying to get Bitadze a touch and getting more involved.
Doncic driving left, no look. Dragic there, spotted up, misses. Toby the last to touch it.
Mamukhalashvili gets the start. Didn't start the game, but starts this second half, as does Bitadze, who didn't start the game.
Sanzaze with the ball, driving left, looking for a cutter. Excuse me, the ball gets over. Shengelia gets it back. Kick out and no more time.
It was pretty. It was passing it, trying to swing the ball around, but they just ran out of time.
Doncic step back three, signature, in and out. The feed and the cut, taking it himself, the hook on the left, courtesy Mamukhalashvili.
It's a really tough play at the rim.
And he's talking trash on the way down. Doncic driving right. Toby will work it around the horn. Doncic, Vitaze gets the block from behind. Shengelia, the lay-in on the other end. And Doncic stayed down. Dragic back to Toby. Nobody getting contested. It's a miss.
Well, Toby was a perfect 3 of 3 in the game against Venezuela. He's 0 for 2 from the three-point line in this one this evening.
Sensaze driving. McFadden goes for it. No whistle. A turnover, and Slovenia and Doncic with the ball. Mid-range jumper, Doncic. Glass doesn't help him. Mahmoud Kelashvili. And a blocking foul against Doncic. Spending a lot of time here on the hardwood floor.
Ooh. With the benefit of the replay, looked like Luka had good position.
Shot on the wing, Sensaze for 3. 5 points for Sensaze. Cutting the lead here, 2-5. Slovenia was up by 12 at the break, and Toby connection is alive and well.
It is just, he makes it look so easy. That is a super pass in traffic. I know he's got a big target, but to thread that needle, great pass by Luka.
No look, how about it again, Sensaze? No, this one's short. And a push from behind, a foul. Mamuke Lushwili.
This is going to require a decision from the coach as well, because Sandro Mamuke Lushwili, that's his 3rd, is it?
His 3rd.
3rd.
Indeed.
So that's going to be a decision. I think you need to leave him out there right now. He leads the team in scoring with the 12.
Vitaze, Doncic, center court, 3 ball, nothing can stop him.
The Georgia fans have been getting on Luka, and now he's engaging with the fans almost every possession. He's having fun.
Off the screen. No basket here, it's on the floor, and it's going against Nikolic. That's going to be the 2nd team foul for Slovenia.
Not a whole lot of doubt about that one, just trying to barge through the screen. This is an issue. They switch a lot, and they ask a lot of Vitaze to guard Luka, and Luka's like that matchup. He's either got to the rim, he's got that step back. A lot to ask of anyone, but for the big fella to try and keep him in front, it's hard.
Shengelia through the gut, earns a foul.
Awkward game for the players. It's been so stop-start. So many fouls called, so many free throws. It's very lopsided in that category, though. Georgia, this is only going to be their 7th and 8th free throw attempt. And Slovenia have had 26 of them. 20 of 26 for Slovenia. 4 of 6 for Georgia.
Shengelia will hit the first. 6 points for him. He had 16 a couple nights ago against Cape Verde.
Plays his basketball last season in Bologna in Italy. Last season, 73% on the year from the free throw line. On the season, I should say.
Doncic. And there's a whistle before, away from the ball. Offensive. Against Jaka Blazic.
Yeah. Had a look, he's coming off. Blazic comes down and just the moving screen.
McFadden. And Georgia here working the ball around the horn. Inside. Corner, look, up. A short shot. And fighting for it in the paint is Bataze.
They're just hanging around. 7 points. Feel like Slovenia have always had the advantage, but they're staying in touch distance. Georgia. There's that switch again, and it's just...
Bataze staying in front of Doncic. He gets the ball. A block or a takeaway, whatever you want to call it. Here we go on the other end. Extra pass, whistle, and Georgia's going to the free throw line, but it's Shengelia that is holding his left knee in pain.
Ooh.
And his wife here in the stands, racing to get close to him.
Yeah, it's a nasty collision. When you're in the air and you're coming down, and hopefully it's just, sometimes it can be just more the shock value of it. And he looks okay, which is good news.
Another look at the collision.
Ooh. Wow.
And still on the floor right now.
Well, it looked like it's his back.
It's Blazic.
That is the problem.
Clearly in pain here is Tourniquet, Shengelia.
Well, it's an ugly incident, and Shengelia is just going to go off, just limping off. Now, he was ready to shoot the free throw, but decided perhaps to get some treatment. But he looks okay, doesn't look too bad. A bit of a limp. But as far as the game is, there's a couple of important free throws. Trailing by 7, opportunity to cut it to 5.
And a miss here by Sanonze. So both of those involved in the collision are now on the sidelines. Blazic and Shengelia. Four and a half now to play in the third quarter. Slovenia up by 6. Nikolic working around the horn. Doncic. The pass in the corner.
Step down the sideline. Gee, we've seen a lot of that in this tournament. Bine Prepelic that time.
Andrew Nekoshvili and McFadden doing the point guard duties for Georgia. Mamukelashvili, that one's off. Doncic slowing down the pace. Turning on the Jets, an extra pass. And who can't believe the call? Mamukelashvili. He gets everything he's saying.
he was a little upset with himself. Luka, wry smile on his face, because if he had just thrown it at the rim, he would have been headed to the free throw line. But he pulled on the pass.
Doncic on the baseline, mismatch for sure. He'll decide to shoot himself, and it's easy. 24 for Doncic. Andrew Nick-Ushwili over to Mamukelashvili, and the shot is up by Senadze. And they've gotten cold here from the field.
They're winning the quarter 11-7, so they've done a good job on the defensive end to hold Slovenia to only 7 points in 7 minutes. Again, they go back to Luka, and this is just too big.
Again, 2 for 2, backing down Andrew Nick-Ushwili, and a steal to combine. How about a step through 3 for Doncic, a miss. Rebound gobbled there by Bitaze. But that had potential to blow the roof off here. McFadden. Doncic, extra touch. Toby to Perpelic. And that is the shooter's bounce. And the timeout here by Georgia. They've seen enough. They got to figure out an answer.
Well, they've just basically restored their lead from halftime, and this timeout needs to figure out what they're going to do with Luka Doncic when he gets on the box. With all the switching that's going on, Andrew Nick-Ushwili, twice he's been caught with Luka, and Luka's just stuck it in his eye.
Toko is going again on Doncic. Offense. We go shirt free side. We start from this side. Screen for Toko. 3 men here. You receive. You go to Sesky.
The man of the hour, Luka Doncic, doing it on the offensive end and certainly in the rebounds game. He's 2 rebounds away from a double-double, and you can't deny the connection he has with Mike Toby.
No, it is, and he's really connected everywhere, but Toby is a prime receiver because it's Toby's in those on-balls most of the time. And there he is engaging with the fans like we were talking about, and that's the problem that we've seen 2 possessions in a row. They just put Luka on the box once they get the switch that they were looking for.
And Shengelia is back on the floor.
It's going to be 2 shots here as well because they're in the Slovenia are over the limit. Shengelia goes to the line to shoot a couple of free throws.
Slovenia with their biggest lead. Now cut back down to a dozen. One for one for Shengelia. Horvat with the ball, surveying. Doncic in that corner again, different defender in front of him. Mamukelashvili, different result.
That was a tough angle to use to bank. Had so much success just going straight at the rim. It was almost like a last-minute decision. It was an incredible effort just to be able to get it off the backboard from that angle for Luka.
Slovenia winning the rebounding margin by 5. McFadden calling the O. Gonna get Leah on the baseline, trying to split defenders. Extra pass, lefty will get it. Mamukelashvili.
He stepped up. He's been a prime target on the offensive end. 14 points now. And we saw the adjustment they made that last time. They didn't allow the switch, and Mamukelashvili against Luka Doncic is a more even fight as opposed to Androniashvili.
Yeah, it's like pick a man, you know, pick on somebody your own size, right? I'd like to see more of that, actually. More Mamukelashvili v. Doncic. Substitution here.
Just for the last minute, 33. As I said, a little in that first half, you did notice the difference when Mike Tobey's not on the floor and Žiga Dimec comes in and runs the 5 spot. Nowhere near the same offensive output from Dimec. There's a foul.
Surely that was not the intent.
Shengalia.
That's his third, which just adds to the storyline here.
They're in the bonus now, any foul, so Shengalia is the one that they've put the responsibility on to try and slow down Luka Doncic.
Prepelic, extra pass, Horvat misses. Pulled down by Mamukelashvili. He still has it. Trying to feed the big guy underneath. Last touch by a blue jersey. Coming for it.
Oh.
Overpass.
Jay almost stepped on the center line.
Mamukelashvili. And it's tangled up. Doncic just takes it right out of his hands. Doncic trying to keep something alive here. Prepelic nearly from our broadcast position. How about another? Doncic, drive on the right, finish on the reverse.
Oh my. That is all class. Had the 3. And there's the foul. And the ability to power through. Now, he's a really good athlete, but not the explosive type, but just the ability to hang time and the touch to kiss it off the glass. And go ahead and try and make the 3-point play.
Mission completed. 29 for Doncic.
Sometimes you got to let sleeping dogs lie, and with Georgia getting under the skin of Luka, I think it might have actually fired him up even more. Zaza Pachulia, who is from Georgia, won an NBA title with the Golden State Warriors.
I believe you're right there, Mr. Gaze. Came here to cheer on his team. They could probably use him on the floor at this point in time.
Well, they've had their issues in a number of departments. They still hang in there. This game's well and truly alive, albeit that Slovenia have had control for a big chunk of it. And it's the turnovers that also have hurt Georgia. They've had 12 of those.
Doncic there now officially with a double-double, pulling down his 10th rebound. Doncic step back 3, his classic move. Misses. He's got teammate on the floor. And how about a second chance here? Rewarding the man that got the rebound, Horvat.
No score.
And better positioning here by Georgia.
The block was called. They're going to wave away the basket.
Coach Sekulic pleading his case.
Have a look. There you see it. It was Dimats who just
basically clotheslined.
We just shepherd out the opportunity for the weak side help to come over, and good call. There's a moving screen. If you're going to screen, you've got to be stationary. It's just the sliding of the feet, the movement that brought him undone.
So shot clock is off. 12 seconds to go. Shinzeza. And this goes off the foot of Horvat. Shengelia to inbound.
Oh.
And he will take his position at the free throw line.
Horvat just too subtle. Shengelia cut through. Just tried to take away the cut, bump the cutter. But he wasn't subtle enough with it. Horvat gets called for the foul, and it's going to be an expensive one because it sends Shengelia to the line. Shengelia has had an interesting night. Struggling to get involved early on. Got the 6 points now.
4 for 7 from the free throw line.
Excuse me, the 8 points.
And just earlier this quarter, he was down holding his knee. He'll hit them both. And now Slovenia with 7.2 to play here in the third. Doncic with the ball, head down, pass in the corner, up by Horvat, and it counts for all three. Gregor Horvat, the assist from Doncic. Slovenia heads into the fourth, up by 13.
That's what happens when you don't keep Luka in front. They collapse, shot clock running out, or time running out, excuse me, and the help comes from the weak side. And nothing but Cotton in the corner for Horvat.
Look here at the best plays in the third quarter. And it's been the captain leading the way, Shengelia, doing a few different things. As he's leaving it to the outside guys, and Shinzaze to hit it from deep. And no question here who was gonna lead Slovenia, but Luka Doncic, he's distributing the ball. Guy that's being a little disruptor down in the paint, Bitaze, but he's was sitting on the bench the last few moments.
And to be an elite player, you've got to have a number of areas that you can go to. And Luka, we've seen it all. Gets a little guy on him, he posts up. There's that last play of the third with the corner three. Can shoot the three, can get to the rim, he can do it all. Luka Doncic.
29 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Luka Doncic here through 3. The winner seals their ticket up to the second round of the World Cup. Prepelic decides to pass it out. Doncic around the horn. How about Horvat from the other side?
Big threes. 3 to end it, 3 to start it. The hole just got a whole lot deeper for Georgia. Trail it by 16.
Shengelia here. Driving Sinadze. Calling for it in the corner, Mamulashvili. And something's wrong. Sinadze just stopped in his tracks.
Well, I think he felt like he got hit by Horvat on the drive. Maybe hoping for the foul more than anything. Looks like the hit might have was a double-double, as you mentioned, for Luka. And he's going to have to check out of the game, I think, when you've received some medical attention. It looks like it's just a short, sharp one to the midsection that's caused him some issues. So Sinadze has to have a rest.
D-Mets being pestered. Doncic tracking down the ball in the corner. He's being guarded by Shengelia. Doncic driving left, shake Shengelia. Doesn't go in, and a foul that will keep the ball here. It's going against Bitadze. His 4th personal foul. On the curl for Palic from 3, nothing but net. And another assist for Doncic.
Oh, beautifully executed underneath, out of bounds play. For Palic now, up to 13 points.
Corner, 3. Sinadze can't hit. Slovenia here in transition. Doncic spinning pass. McFadden sticking with him. Palic thought about it again. He'll drive right. Extra pass taken away.
Three-point shooting. It's been an issue for both these teams, but the last end of the 3rd and the start of the 4th, Slovenia, who's been able to get it going. They're now up to 8 of 27. So they're shooting at 30%, and down the other end, Georgia having all sorts of problems, 6 of 22 at 27%. And give a lot of credit to Slovenia, the way they guarded the 3-point line as well. Nothing's come easy.
And a foul, another one here by Horvat. Second personal. Again, this whistle is stopping an awful lot here.
Oh, it is.
Andrew.
It's made for a clunky game. Haven't really been able to get into any type of flow. And right now, it's going to take a Herculean effort for Georgia to get back into this one, because they trail it by 19. And they're not shooting it well from the 3-point line. So they need a quick turnaround in that department if they're going to get back into it.
Sinadze, extra pass, knocked away. He gets it back from Doncic. On the floor he goes, fighting for the ball. Georgia recovers, but it's a shot clock violation. And a little chippiness here between Slovenia and Georgia. And for Palic specifically, and Goga Bitadze.
Oh, now Luka comes in. Bitadze, he doesn't want to have anything of it. It's a level of frustration from him right now. He only needs 4 more assists, and he's on triple-double twice, and 4 more will get him there. At this rate, though, a couple more baskets, and he might be sitting on the bench getting some rest.
And Prepelic is going to draw the contact.
Well, I don't know what Prepelic did down the other end, but it's agitated a lot of the people from Georgia. And
Shengelia there picking up his 4th. There were probably some words exchanged. Really a takeaway here. And Doncic has 6 to shoot. He'll shake Goga and hit the 3 with the stare down to send him on his way. You can see why so many people either love or dislike this guy.
These two were going at it just the play before. Off the ball, talking a lot. Luka hasn't had a great night from the 3-point line.
His dad, big fan. Doncic with 32 points.
3 of 9 now.
Extra pass, corner look, mama. Kalashvili.
He's been a standout for Georgia. He has been their main supply on the offensive end. 17 for him to go along with his 6 points. Now, how can a defense break down that badly?
McFadden driving, and Shengelia an offensive, and that's going to be his 5th, so he will exit this game.
It's going to be his 5th foul, and player 23 is fouled out.
Look, here we see the penetration, the good pick. See, that's, wow, that's a lot of flop in that action as well, I would have thought. Very little contact, and perhaps that's got more to do with the chit-chat that's been going on.
Another foul here going against Georgia. And that.
Charles, I'd say that. Let's have a look. We'll see it here. Oh, the grab of the shirt. You can't do that.
Jinjaradze there on Doncic.
Oh dear.
And nobody in the corner. Prepelic thought that Bacek was going that way. And a turnover. 19-point lead for Slovenia. 6-12 to try and close the gap here for Georgia. Their captain just fouling out of the game. Andrew Gaze, Despina Barton, shot Mamu Kalashvili, misses. And the extra effort by Bitaze will keep the ball here. And Doncic here.
That was the issue that I thought we might have that would prevent him from his triple-double.
Exiting the game with a hefty lead in Slovenia's favor.
He leads with 32 points to his name.
Nikolic with the ball, the foul handed over. Jinjaradze. His 3rd personal.
Number 6, Nicholas.
There's been a lot of free throws and a lot of fouls in this one. 48 fouls have been called in the contest. And that's on the heavy side. And for Slovenia. now been to the line, free throw line, where they've shot it well at 22 of 28. Make that 23 of 29.
Mamukelashvili back to Sinsaze. The roll is there. Calling for it on the block. Sinsaze, hook shot. That one drops in. Sinsaze with 7 points. Prepelic looking for that high-low connect to Toby.
It's interesting when you compare someone like Bitadze and Toby. All very similar size, very similar profiles. One's in the NBA, one's not. Now, Toby's still got a great career in Europe, but it's can be just some small, subtle things. In games like this, it's sometimes in an international play, it's sometimes hard to split the difference between players that get there and players that don't, because their body profile and skill sets are not a whole lot different.
A little bit more finesse, I would imagine, with Mamukelashvili and his ability to finish.
Oh, him for sure, but I'm talking more about with Bitadze.
Oh, with Bitadze, okay.
Yeah.
I'm following now. I'm following. Sinsaze's three, no good. And as the time continues to wind down here, you can hear and feel just any...
The starch has gone out of the game, that's for sure.
Certainly. Georgia taking the ball here. And Bitadze being fouled in the line of action.
This would mean that Slovenia is going to advance.
And we're going to see more Doncic.
Wow. It's a little surprising. Hold a pretty healthy 19-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Maybe the coach got the message. And there's a chance for Luka to pick up a very rare triple-double in international basketball.
The alley intended for Bitadze. Doncic the double, gets 2 more free throws. There's a meme in America with Oprah. And you get a car, Andrew Gaze, and you get a car, Luka Doncic. In this instance, plenty of free throws to go around here inside Okinawa Arena.
You're going to have to come out of the game because there's...
Yep. And Bitadze will exit.
Foul. Checks out of the game. 7 points, 7 balls.
free throw.
33 points for number 77. And there's MVP chants echoing here inside the arena.
Well, he was selected as the Olympic All-Star team for his second in points per game and first in assists. And based on the first 2 games, strong chance that Luka Doncic is going to be another candidate for leading scorer.
McFadden, the kick, the open look. Here's the cutter on the right side of things. Kaha Jencharodze. An opportunity to add one more to the scoreboard for Georgia.
Say, oh, gee, you see why he might have been a little upset. Let's say Nikolic looked like there was the extension of the arm. Got one in the head. But it has been a difficult game. 52 fouls called in this contest. And a lot of them are there. They're fouling. It's not criticism of the officials, it's just a way in which the defenses tried to play and committed a lot of fouls.
And finish, Mamukelashvili. Jim Jardadze with the assist. Slovenia will have one more game here in Group F play. They will face Cape Verde in 2 nights from this evening as they continue to keep adding to their scorecard. Dragic that time. As for Georgia, they will play Venezuela, and they will need a victory to see their way out into the second phase and second round of World Cup play.
Luka Doncic gets a rest. Wasn't able in that time that he came back on, that couple of minutes to advance his assists. So he finishes with 34 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Good night's work at the office for Luka Doncic.
It's almost time for happy hour, everybody. Dragic. And Mamukelashvili in a hurry here. Medina.
It's a part of his repertoire. Good old-fashioned sky hook, and they've gone to sleep on the D-trans. Oh no!
And he'll get the 2 to count, as it was a goaltending against Medina. With the extra effort here.
Let's have a look. Ooh.
Very close.
I think he had a claim to say that was clean. Got it at the peak before it got to the downward motion.
Dragic rolls in another 3. Gives his buddy something to chew on here in the final minute. And Nikolic is going to foul out here after that. As Slovenia makes some wholesale changes.
Yeah.
The men on the floor.
Gregor Glass comes in. See his action. He's an up-and-comer, 22 years of age. Plays in Montenegro in the Adriatic League. And what an experience. It's a great learning experience. And there's some dejection
for Georgia fans here tonight. At the half, Slovenia led by 12. Georgia cut that lead to 5 in the third quarter and hasn't come closer since.
Number 4, on the defensive. It's going to be fourth personal.
So Bine Prepelic, the 22-year-old, on the free throw line. misses them both.
And as a player, you're disappointed because you missed them both exactly the same way. First one was short, no adjustment on the second one, and comes up short again.
A takeaway here, and see how Slovenia finishes. Gregor Glass.
Now, it looks easy, but when you've been sitting on the sidelines for 39 minutes, getting stiff, I know he's young, to come in and be able to throw it down with a two-hand slam.
And right here, it's going to be Rati Andrnek-Ushwili that just dribbles out the final possession. Congratulations, Slovenia. And Luka Doncic, you have stamped your ticket to the second round of the World Cup. The final score here, 88-67. Doncic, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists.
Yeah, they were able to work their way through it. Georgia presented some challenges, but not enough. They went cold in that second quarter, and just the scoring. They've gone 17-16, 17-17. Wasn't enough, puts too much pressure on the defense, and when you've got a superstar like Luka Doncic that can not only score himself but can create for others, it presents some problems, and they weren't able to solve them. And it was a impressive performance by Slovenia, and they now can go with confidence that they're through to the next phase. They've still got Cape Verde to come in a couple of days' time.
In 2 days, they will face a Cape Verde team that earned their first ever World Cup victory earlier this evening against Venezuela in an upset fashion. So while Slovenia has sealed up their pathway to the second round, who knows what type of team they will face with Cape Verde.
That's right. And I guess there could be a combination if Cape Verde is able to pull off,
I mean, they're hoping
the
for
greatest upset in the history of the World Cup and beat this Slovenian team. Who knows? There might be some three-wide tie and then comes into other issues, but we're assuming that that's not going to happen, and that's why we're maybe a little premature to say that Slovenia is locked in.
Slovenia with 2 wins.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting with if there was a three-way tie, though, which is potential, highly, highly unlikely.
We'll have to have our stat guys talk to your stat guys and figure out those.
Well, there's stats and there's the reality, and the reality is it's Slovenia who are in the box seat, and with play like this, they were able to, you know, and let's be honest, it wasn't a pretty game. So many fouls called. It was 54 fouls in total, a lot of free throws. Slovenia went to the line 33 times and they made 25 of them, so it's hard to get any sort of rhythm, but not hard for Luka Doncic. Superb yet again. He's backed up a 37-point outing with a 34. He logged 32 minutes. There were some honourable performances for the Georgia team, and in particular, Sandro Mamuke-Lashvili. He was strong with 21 points.
And Goga Bitadze showed some glimpses of greatness. I think he was just hindered early on with those fouls.
Yeah, he was, and also Chincha Odze, he battled hard for his 12 points. But it's Slovenia showing their experience. This is a world-class team that picked up a bronze medal a couple of years ago in Tokyo, and they look like they're going to be a tough out for anyone in this year's World Cup.
And Georgia's journey's not done. Again, they will take on Venezuela tomorrow, in 2 days. So a chance to still take control of their pathway. The door's not shut, but things looking a lot more certain for Slovenia and Luka Doncic's team.
They get that win, Georgia, and the high probability provided Slovenia take care of Cape Verde, then Georgia still go through. Now they do carry that loss over, and this pool matched up against what is likely going to be Germany and Australia, but who knows? Japan calls an upset tomorrow and beat Australia, anything can happen.
But as things stand right now, Slovenia #1 in Group F after 2 days of competition. And much more of Luka Doncic and the whole crew here from Okinawa, Japan. It is Slovenia that is victorious, sending Georgia home with a loss. For Andrew Gaze, I'm Despina Barton. Final score, 88-67. Slovenia takes the victory.